everybody, this is Lanny's with Lexi or Alexis, whichever one works, and I'm going to apologize in advance. I still haven't gotten my hair retwisted because, well, that takes money, and so I apologize. My roots are grown out, my hair is being hella non-compliant, just doing whatever it wants to do, but I will get that in check at some point. And then I'm also going to apologize in advance. I am going to be looking off of the camera here. I do have my iPad in front of me just to make sure I'm not rambling. So keep my thoughts in order. In this video, though, I plan to kind of discuss how I got to the regional airline that I was with, and then why I wasn't so keen on, well, actually, no. In this video, I'll kind of make it like a part 1, part 2. So why I chose the airline I was with. And then in the next video, I will explain why I wasn't so keen on the other regional airline that I received a CJO from. So just to get started, I'll be honest, it was really all about timing. I had applied multiple times to mainline airlines and gotten a no, thanks but no thanks, even before getting to the virtual interview stage. And this regional airline that's operated under American Airlines was like, hey, thanks for applying. We'd like to welcome you to the face-to-face. And I'll be honest, I don't remember applying to them. I didn't even know who they were. I had no idea who they were at all. Up until recently, I really hadn't flown enough to have much knowledge of any airline, let alone have like an allegiance with one over the other. So it was all about timing. It came right at a time where I was really looking to get into the field. So I went to the face-to-face, of course, did everything I needed to do, got a CGL, went to training. It was all definitely an experience, but more or less, I could say I chose the airline, but the airline kind of chose me, if I could say it that way. I figured it was a great way to get my foot into the door because I, of course, wanted to go mainline. That was the ultimate goal. So I figured you have to start somewhere. Not everyone's starting at the top. Well, no one starts at the top. So I figured I would start with regional and then go from there. And, it was kind of like a good way also to gain insight. So I wasn't hopping into a mainline airline with no real idea about what the field entails, because that kind of would have put me at a disadvantage. So I figured if I do this regional, I will know essentially how it all works behind the scenes. So at the airport, how, working a flight works, how sitting reserve works, things like that. So I'd have a general idea. So that's kind of how I saw it. And it was great, I guess, essentially to have that job while I waited for mainline airlines to respond. So worst case scenario, they may have said no, but I still would have been working in the field and I still would have had that experience. Sorry, let me read through my notes here. And training actually was short enough. It was 4 weeks. Yeah, so training was short enough that I would have been able to complete training without risking my chance with other mainline airlines because of poor timing. So that was always a good thing. And it was kind of like a backup for me. I knew that I had that CJO with that regional airline kind of in my back pocket. I know I went to the face-to-face with a mainline airline maybe a week before I started training with my regional. So it was just a wonderful backup, if I do say so myself. But after I was released from that regional airline, I applied to another regional airline midway through December, and that's when I received a CJO. But I will discuss that airline in another video. But a lot of this here is just based on timing. I had never heard of the airline before, but it was just a good place to start, if that makes sense. So better to start somewhere than to not start at all. And I definitely would suggest you to have a backup airline just in case, because I would never suggest anyone to put all their eggs in one basket. especially if that basket is a mainline airline. You know, some people got it like that. I know I did not. And I know, you know, most people probably aren't going to be able to get a CGL from a mainline airline their first go around. If so, great, but that's not necessarily typical. So it's great to kind of have a fallback. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Ladies with Lexi. I will upload a part 2, kind of explaining why I did not go with the regional airline that I had gotten hired onto after I had been released from the one operated under American. Once again, this has been Ladies with Lexi. You guys stay tuned for part 2.